Hello, my name is Father Peter Pilsner. I'm a Catholic priest and the chaplain at Cardinal Spellman High School in the Bronx. As I've been trying to get my thoughts together for my Christmas homily, I was thinking about this whole thing in our culture and media that they speak of as the war on Christmas. And it seems to make the news every year. And I think it is significant. I think it's something disturbing that people try to shame or prevent others from saying such simple words as Merry Christmas. And I think that it's good that people resist that trend and go out of their way to say Merry Christmas. But at the same time, I think that there's something deeper going on that's more important to address. And that is the crisis of faith surrounding Christmas. Christmas is about the mystery of the incarnation, this faith of ours that in Jesus Christ, the second person of the Holy Trinity, took on a human nature and was born of the Virgin Mary, so that this child who is born is truly God and truly man. Many people do not believe this. Sometimes it's because they've never had it really explained to them and they don't know what it means. They might think that when we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Jesus because he was a wonderfully spiritual person, good teacher, somebody who brought together enemies, taught people to be kind to one another. All that's good, but many of them don't really understand or appreciate that he is the Son of God become man. So we have a lack of teaching, a lack of catechesis. And for others, even if they know what it means to say that Jesus is the Son of God become man, they don't really believe it. They see that as something the church says we're supposed to believe. They're not really sure what they think about it. It's part of, you might say, a kind of skepticism that's throughout society, a secular type of skepticism, which prevents people from making any kind of faith commitment, like they're holding their faith at arm's length and not really wanting to embrace their faith and believe. So, what does one do about this? I had an idea of doing something very small, but something that might be significant. I'm not talking about a program. I'm not talking about some kind of media presentation or anything like that. This is kind of like media anyway. Nonetheless, I think something that can help is the power of personal testimony. That you and I can strengthen one another's faith simply by giving witness to our own faith, by our willingness to go public and say, yes, I believe. So, with confidence in the power of this personal testimony of faith and the influence it can have, I wish to offer something I'm going to call the Christmas Challenge. It's going to be easier than the ice bucket challenge because no one is going to have to pour a bucket of ice water on your head in order to do this. No, it's very simple. All you do is make a video of yourself, kind of like the one you're watching right now, and simply make a profession of your faith in the incarnation. Say something like this: I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God become man. I believe he is the second person of the Holy Trinity who took on a human nature in the womb of the Virgin Mary so that, specifically so that, he could die and rise again for our salvation, thus manifesting the salvation and mercy of God. I am saying this with freedom because no one is making me say this. No one's pressure, no one's expectations are forcing me to say this. I say this freely, and I say this because I personally believe that this is true. So you make that statement, and you post it on whatever social media feed you like, and you challenge 5 people to do the same thing. By the way, if you're going to do this, don't use it as a way of trying to smoke out people that you think are fake Christians by saying to them, oh, say this, and if they don't say this, you say, aha, gotcha, you're not a real Christian because you can't say this. No, don't do that. At the same time, don't pressure people that might not really be sure, who might be genuinely struggling with this. No, send it to people that you know would boldly, comfortably, and happily do this. And we'll see where it goes. I'm going to send this to 5 people, and maybe with that, it'll just like sputter out. I don't know. But who knows? Maybe they'll send it to some others, and maybe one person will be somehow touched and inspired by the fact that someone was willing to go on record on the internet saying that, as far as they are concerned, this teaching that Jesus is the Son of God, it's not some kind of fairy tale, it's not some relic of history, it's not some kind of wishful thinking, but that they, an intelligent, thoughtful, considerate Christian person, that they really do believe that this is true, and this is something that brings richness and meaning to their life. I mean, in a way, it's almost like just reaffirming the vows of your baptism. So, if you're willing to do this, pass it along to 5 people, and if we light a little candle, so we do. If not, please accept my gratitude and my wishes for you to have a most blessed and most joyful Christmas, not just because of the family gatherings, not just because of the delicious food, but first and foremost, because you rejoice with profound gratitude in the love and power and mercy of God, that the second person of the Holy Trinity took on a human nature so that you and I could be with him eternally in heaven. This is something that is so tremendous and so joyful. Would we ever be able to find the words to express it? Thank you for listening, and Merry Christmas.